Welcome to another episode of Touring the AFC South. I am your host, Mike Patton, and on this episode, we got a very, very special guest talking about a very, very special event program going on in the Nashville area that I want everyone to hear about. It is called For the Fathers. We're going to get into that, but I want to talk to Mr. Ty Garth. What's going on, man?
What's up, bro? How you?
Doing great. How are you, man?
I'm well, man. No complaints.
Good to hear you. Good to hear you. And like they used to say, nobody would hear it anyway, right?
That's why I was about to say that. I mean, wouldn't nobody listen if I had a complaint? So I just be chilling.
I hear you there. We're gonna get into For the Fathers, talk a little football as well. But of course, first with every episode, I start off with the Get Off Your Chest segment. Could be any sport, could be football, basketball, could be something away from the court. But this episode, it's definitely something to do with sports. One of the best two words in sports to me, Game 7. Game 7 just happened for a couple teams. One of those teams, the Knicks, didn't end quite well. Point guard gets injured. The Pacers shoot a playoff record 60-some-odd%. They couldn't miss. But in the flip of the other game, you had the Denver Nuggets and you had the Minnesota Timberwolves. And at halftime, you thought the Timberwolves were done. They were down, 20 points. It just looked like they were playing for Cancun at that point. And then the second half happens, and all heck breaks loose. And the Timberwolves come back. And they were going to win. You knew they were going to win the game when you saw Rudy Gobert hit a fadeaway jump shot when time expires. So basically, the Denver Nuggets lose a 20-point lead, lose Game 7, lose out on the chance to repeat as champions as the Minnesota Timberwolves move on to face the Dallas Mavericks. And I just had to, give applause to Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. I mean, you come in there, you tell them you're going to be back for Game 7. You win Game 6. Then Game 7, y'all down 20 points. You're not playing the best, but somehow, some way, you get it going. You make some aggressive moves. Your team gets it going. Mike Conley hitting corner threes. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns crashing the rim, catching dunks off the rim. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this team looked totally different in the second half. I just had to give applause to the Minnesota Timberwolves because for the many years that people have joked them making the playoffs, joked on how they've done in the playoffs, joked on Karl Anthony Towns being the centerpiece of that organization, they have finally made it back 20 years later to the NBA's Western Conference Finals. Man, I know you got some thoughts on that one, man. Just after watching that, wow, I'm still kind of shocked that even happened.
It was coaching, man, like coaching management. As far as like we was talking about earlier, Joker played 47 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like when you up 20, you got to rest him. That's the time because you're gonna need him in the fourth. You don't need him in the fourth quarter, so you rest him and Mary. But you just gotta tip your hats to that young Minnesota team, man. Like Ant-Man he's different. It's like he's on a mission. Do I think they're gonna win the championship? No, but I do expect them to get past Dallas. Mm-hmm. As much as I want to see Kyrie and Luka, get there, but I do think they'll get past Dallas. But just to see this collapse of Denver, I think it's been 20 years since a team had a repeat as well, right?
It's been a minute. It has actually. It's been what's it? No. It hasn't been 20 years. It's been I think it was Miami Heat were the last ones to repeat, or was it Golden State?
Golden State. So Golden State did back to back. Yeah, with KD. So like almost 10 years now. Maybe
it's been a minute.
So it's like I don't know. Now you question the whole MVP voting, and it's like MVP voting and decisions to be made after the playoffs. It makes you question that now because I don't want them to do the whole like LeBron thing where he doesn't have any help. Jokic has help. They just had an off night, and Minnesota is a big part of that disruption. I've never seen a team play defense that aggressively for 48 minutes. I've never seen the way they play offensively. Like they don't miss a beat. You take Gobert out, you take Cat out, you bring in Nas Muhammad. You know, you bring in Jaden. Like you bring in guys that able to give you 10 to 12 good minutes and be.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks bad on Denver's part. The coach, and then his post game conference is horrible. He gets upset. Bro, it's your fault. It's your fault. Like you
Mm-hmm.
should have made better subs. Like you said, they just signed a guy, paid him all this money to be a backup, and he didn't play the whole entire series. So
Yeah. Yeah, and the guy you're speaking of is Nas Reed, the reigning sixth man of the year. That
yeah,
dude came in and gave work to
yeah,
Denver when he
yeah,
came in.
yeah. Facts.
Man,
He was almost out of the league a few years ago.
he met Jokic at the mountaintop and blocked his shot. Then
Yeah.
he catches one off the rim. I'm like, this big old 6'10" guy coming from the top of the key, dribbling, slicing between defense. I'm like, okay, why did I never notice him at Louisiana State University? I have no idea why I never noticed him there, but
so he went to LSU.
He went to LSU.
That's the big guy. He was kind of heavy set though back in college. Though wasn't he?
Okay, that's probably why.
Yeah, he was a little bigger. That makes sense. He could ball though. He could ball for sure.
Yeah, he definitely doing some things I did not expect to see him do in the NBA. But we're gonna kind of move and transition out of the get off your chest segment and kind of slide over to something that is very, very important to me and very, very important to you, and that's being a father. The For the Fathers event is going to be June 7th and 8th. It's going to be at Rock the Bells, 768 Madison Square, Madison, Tennessee. For those that are in Nashville or who would like to come into Nashville, by the way, you don't have to just be in Nashville to come. You can fly in as well. But yeah, definitely want to talk about that event. And of course, as we're talking, I'm going to kind of put the websites down at the bottom of the screen for everyone that's watching. So For the Fathers, kind of how did it kind of the idea start?
Okay, so I'm co-founder of the O.L.Li Life Youth Program. We mentor young boys ages 12 to 18. And for so many years, man, I've been wanting to do something to honor those men who step up as mentors, coaches, community leaders, and things of that nature. Because a lot of the children that we service, they come from single parent homes, and the fathers are the ones that's not in the homes. But you do have men that step up in the place as coaches, mentors, and things of that nature. So I just wanted to do something to give back. Maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I just had some trophies made just to honor the mentors that was in my program. And I was like, man, this would be dope if I did this every year. And I was like, how can I put together an awards ceremony to recognize these men that's doing great things in the community and for our program? Fast forward 2 years ago, I sat down with my good friend James Bush. We went to FIST together. And he has an organization called Let's Have Manifestation. So I've been on his show several times, and we've done work as far as filming for his show. And I brought it up to him, and he was like, man, that'd be dope. Let's do it. Man, let's do it. Let's do it. So we sat down for like a year and planned it. I gave him the logistics of like what I had as far as ideas for it. Shout out to Dr. O and her husband, Uncle Kurt. They came on board from Belinda Gale Management. We all sat down. And the first year, last year, we also partnered with Ron Johnson. He's a great community servant around here in Nashville. Just an amazing man. I really admire Mr. Ron. So we all sat down and we was like, I gave him the vision. They started throwing ideas out, and we was like, let's do it. And the first one, man, we decided to have nominees. We had a list of nominees. And I didn't like it once I started seeing the winners. Now, all of the winners are deserving of those things. But when you start having voting for certain stuff, you start to notice the ones who's more popular to win every category. You know, like if I'm a socialite and I'm really popular in the city, right? You could put me in any category and I say vote for me and people are gonna vote. You know, and that's how it was. And I was like, well, we can't, even though the ones who won are very deserving. So shout out to all the winners from last year's event. Super appreciative of them for participating last year. But I was like, man, we got to change that. That we just got to select. We just got to go through the list
right.
and just select our own. And then each year we can do that because it's so many people deserving of being recognized and honored for doing great things in the community as community leaders, mentors, and coaches. So we're here year 2, man. Super excited about it. June 7th and the 8th. Great recipients. You know, we giving out the Coaches Award for high school and college. We're giving out Therapist of the Year. We're giving out an award called the Father to the Fatherless. We're giving out the Future and the Youth Award. We give Civil Servant Award, House of Praise, House of Worship Award, and 2 of my favorite awards is called the one is the Ahmad Galloway Brotherhood Award. One of my best friends I grew up with recently passed away last year. He played at the University of Alabama, was a running back. Time with the Denver Broncos and San Diego's Chargers and everything like that. That award right there, I give out in his honor to exemplify to the person who exemplified brotherhood. You know, and then another award is the Victor Ellis Junior Award, Ambassador Award. Another one of our good friends passed away. He was 28 years old from cancer. He played at the University of Alabama as well, linebacker. He played for the Jacksonville Jaguars for a little bit, and then he became an ambassador and recruiter for the University of Alabama before he passed away. So I do those 2 awards to honor, you know, 2 of my best friends. We've been knowing each other since we was 10 years old, man, and those are my brothers, and I miss them dearly. So. Yeah, man, it's just a great time. Friday night we have the mixer from 7 to 9, meet and greet mixer. So people come out and we just celebrate the recipients and anybody who want to come party with us on that Friday. Saturday morning we do our breakout sessions from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that's ages 12 and up. Young men, little boys, young men come out. We break down the O.L.L.I.E curriculum, which is, you know, dealing with financial literacy, sex education, purpose, staying true to yourself. You know, just a lot of great speakers coming in to pour into these young boys and these young men's lives, man, and just something that I enjoy doing. And then after that, we kick off with the award ceremony that evening. And we celebrate those recipients, man. Like I said, this is the 2nd year for it. Just so super proud of it and proud to be partnered with some amazing people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely a good thing. You know, of course, not everyone is going to be able to make it. You know, that's just the truth. But how can people participate if they're not able to make it?
Well, you can go to the weforthefathers.com and click the donation button. Sponsor a kid, or just make a donation towards the event. Like I said, all proceeds go towards the For the Fathers event, you know, whether it's going to be this year or next year's event, but all the proceeds are banked in the For the Fathers account, and we giving back, man. That's what it's all about. That's what O.L.L.I. Life program is about, giving back to the community. That's what Let's Have Manifestation is about, giving back to the community and uplifting and impacting men. You know, a lot of times we get pushed to the side. You know, Mother's Day, we all go out. We go all out for the mothers on Mother's Day. You know, the good gifts, the good restaurant dinners, and Father's Day is like, hey, you want this hamburger? Oh, you gonna grill or you gonna do something? You know, but just wanted to recognize, you know, some amazing people in the community doing great things, man. You know, because there are men out there that are willing to be our assets to the community.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. I want to get more into talking about the O.L.L.I.E Life Youth Program, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll talk about that and more on touring the AFC South.
EBO Beard Butter and EBO Beard Wash are two of the best beard grooming products for men worldwide. They help promote growth, keep your beard moisturized and soft, and enhance your overall upkeep of your facial hair. And with the new promo code MPAFC10, you can get 10% off all these products. Just go to www.etsy.com/shop/EBOBeardButter. Again, that's www.etsy.com/EBOBeardButter. And again, the promo code MPAFC10. Again, MPAFC10, where you can get 10% off any products except for beard boxes. So treat your beard better today by going to get these the EBO Beard Butter and EBO Beard Wash.
All right. I want to thank
EBO Beard.
Ooh, I'm trying to bring the commercial back a little bit. But but yeah, I want to thank EBO Beard Butter for being a sponsor of the show. Of course, again, Touring the AFC South is sponsored by EBO Beard Butter, 10% off everything but beard boxes with the promo code MPAFC10. Now, coming back to the show, I want to talk about the O.L.L.I Life Youth Program. Now, how did that one kind of get started? You mentioned that one as a kind of a precursor to For the Fathers. How long has that been going, and how did that idea kind of get started?
Man, O.L.L.I Life Youth Program started in 2010. Actually, effectively working in 2010. The idea had been on my mind since college. You notice with the logo, it's an actual skateboarding type deal.
Mm-hmm.
So initially, I put together. I've always been a fan of skateboarding growing up, but when I was growing up, it wasn't anything popular for Black kids to do. You either gonna play basketball or football. That's it. Growing up where I'm, in a single parent home in the hood where I'm from, in Louisville. So it was like, no, skateboarding wasn't cool for us to do. But when I used to go stay the night over my white friend's house from school, he would show me, we go to the skate park, we would, skate around the neighborhood. So I've always been a fan of it. And the reason why, because it's an individual sport.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to be better, you have to put in the work. You're going to get knocked down. You got to get back up and keep working and getting better at it. Always loved that. Man, you have to be mentally strong and physically to be a skateboarder, right?
Right.
So I was like, man, I'm a fan. I watch it. Before there was even Black skaters, I'm looking at Ryan Sheckler and all of that, and Tony Hawk and things of that nature. So, and learned, and Allen Ollie Geffen, who was part of Dogtown in California back in the day, So I was like, man, I want to put a skate team together. So I put a group of kids together. Went to the skate park, 6 Ave skate. Yeah, that's what the skate park.
Yeah.
Got some kids, put a skate team together, was putting them in competitions. They came to Nashville. We went to California, sponsored like 100 kids to be at a skate tournament out there called Skate Wars, put on by Darius Love and his father, and out there in California. And I was like, man, this is what it is. I love this. This is exciting. But I saw myself getting phone calls from the parents of the kids that was on the skate team. They was getting in trouble at home, getting in trouble at school. So I'm having to call these guys. I'm having to tell them, well, you can't be don't come up to the skate park tonight. We're not doing this competition because y'all don't know how to get yourself together. So I got with my partner Dredd, and he was like, man, we need to revamp it. And I was like, yeah, man, because it's bigger than what we even know. So we revamped it, added a curriculum, transitioning the kids, because at that time they was all middle school kids. So it was like the most impressionable time is doing middle school. So we put together a curriculum that transitioned them from middle school age to high school to college to life, which is awesome because they need all of those phases in order to, that's going to grow them. Well, we took out the skate park. We took it out. No more skate parks, no more skate competitions. Now let's find the kids in the school, because I've already worked in the school system. Once I graduated from Fisk, I had my degree in special education, so I was always working in the schools dealing with the kids with the behaviors or special needs. So it was like, man, I have access to the kids and I know what's going on with them in school. Let's figure out what's the issues with them outside of the school, because that's going to give us an answer to why their behaviors are happening inside of these classrooms and in the building. Presented the curriculum and the ideal of it to my first school, JT Moore, with Miss Howard. She loved it. She introduced me to Miss Kesey, who was at West End at the time. She's now assistant principal at McGavitt. So we went from JT Moore, West End, then to John Early with Dr. Mason. I was over there for 4 years programming, and we just continued to build. We went to East, went to Eastern Prep, explore, partnering with the juvenile. So it was like, man, we rolling. We figuring out this. So and this is all in the span from 2010 to 2024, man. Like all of these partnerships. So we added events. Every year we do a turkey drive, give away 100 turkeys to families that we service. We do back to school. We do Christmas toy drives and stuff. But we partner. We have collaborative initiatives with other organizations around the city. Shout out to the Fine Design. That's an organization that deal with young girls. So when we have parents that have young boys, they ask, well, do you have something for his sister? And I was like, always connecting with the Fine Design. So shout out to Sharice Chapman and Kara James over at the Fine Design, because they always are available. Great organization as well for young girls. But yeah, man, we just started. We switched it, but we kept the same motto and mindset. O.L.L.I.E stands for Only Living Life in Excellence. And that's what we try to instill in these young boys each and every day. I always say there's 3 keys to excellence. The first is affirmation. It's a positive affirmation you give yourself each and every day you wake up. You know what I'm saying? You do that. And then it's always a kind gesture. Every day you try to be a blessing to someone other than yourself, whether it's through a conversation, just opening the door, something, just a kind gesture. And then number 3, man, just executing. And then in 2024 for the kids, I guess it's standing on business. So you stand on the business of doing steps 1 and 2. And then you're leading yourself into living life in excellence. So that's what we instill in them. Believing yourself, self-love, and then being a blessing to someone other than yourself. And that allows you to live, and then you execute, and that allows you to live your life in excellence. So we kept the same model, the Only Living Life in Excellence, that we had with the skateboarding thing, and we just inserted that with the mentoring aspect of working in the schools and everything like that.
Well, man, making a huge impact, man. And your work definitely does not go in vain, man. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of parents and kids that are definitely very, very appreciative of all that you've done for them as well. And, of course, that was a big part of this show, and me bringing you on was talking about For the Fathers and just talking about all the great, wonderful things that you're doing within the neighborhood, especially within the Black community as well. Yeah. So, man, greatly appreciate you for all that you're doing there. We're going to take another quick commercial break. Then, we're going to talk a little sports on here, just a little bit. We're going to talk about the Tennessee Titans just for a hot second on touring the AFC South.
A shift. A shift is something that happens and changes the dynamics. And that's what happened when Garrett Logistics was born. After 10 years as a sales pro in the logistics world of sporting goods, John Garrett decided to pivot to the world of freight and start a brokerage. So you're saying to yourself, why trust Garrett Logistics? Well, Garrett Logistics helps shippers improve overall workflow, along with increased on-time pickup and delivery percentages. Last-minute loads, multi-drop pickups, and more are part of the services with Garrett Logistics. They're available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., all times Central Standard Time. So give them a ring at 615-400-8484. That's 615-400-8484, or you can email them at john@garrettlogistics.co or visit their website at garrettlogistics.co. Garrett Logistics, where the motto is, it's not just freight to us, it's your business.
All right, and we are back on touring the AFC South. And of course, we talked about, fathers and events and then just all the great, wonderful things you do in the community, Ty. But of course, we do have to talk just a little bit of football, keep it on brand with the show. And
yeah, for sure.
Of course, the team here in Nashville is the Tennessee Titans, and they have been here since, they've been at the new stadium, I should say, since 1999, which is Nissan Stadium, which, of course, the first stadium name was the Adelphia Coliseum, for those that remember all the way back then. And then it was just the Coliseum, and then, of course, they've had some other ones too, but, now it's Nissan. And, of course, the new stadium is getting ready to happen, and they're building that right next to the old stadium. So, wow. So what are your thoughts on this new stadium coming here to Nashville, and all the talk they've had about different things surrounding it as well?
I think it's a great thing. It's going to provide jobs.
Mm-hmm.
A bigger stadium, or more, updated stadium. Yeah. It allows for more jobs to happen. It allows for the city to make a lot of more money, because you're going to have, it's already a tourist town, and people come here to visit, the country music downtown and come to the games and everything like that. So it's going to bring more money to the city, jobs for people, and just more revenue for the city, more traffic, of course, a lot more.
Oh, goodness.
A lot more. I'm not a Titans fan.
There's a lot of people in Nashville that are definitely fans of totally different teams.
Yeah, man. I'm not a Titan fan. I just I think some of the decisions they made with some of these players throughout the year have cost. That should have been a Super Bowl in Nashville already with the Titans. Their teams have been good over the years. Like, you think about the McNair, Eddie George, Derek Mason type era. Those teams were Super Bowl winning teams, but they never did. And then how the owners, you break up those teams, and terrible draft picks. You don't draft a need, you just draft to be drafted. I think I stopped watching the draft, but when I be hearing some of the picks, the Titans, you don't address those areas of needs. And then you just get rid of the biggest piece. You get rid of Henry. He's the face of the organization. And you allow him to go to a team that you all have to face twice a year, maybe, I think.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It don't make any sense. And now it's
yeah, I kind of sort of get it in terms of getting rid of him, because necessarily he wasn't necessarily. I don't think it was necessarily a decision that the Titans made. I think it was a decision that, hey, the ball's in your court if you want to come back, or something like that in that aspect. But I can say with this new regime, it's a little different. It seems like they actually are plugging the holes that they actually need pieces in, to be honest. But like to your point though, it definitely over the years it did seem like sometimes it was like, okay, why are they bringing this guy in?
Yeah.
Why is this guy coming? So definitely, I totally get your point in terms of over the years, over the 20 plus years they've been here.
Yeah.
Some players you're like, I don't know why they're bringing him in, and then other
Yeah.
players you're like, okay, that's a good guy, but then it doesn't pan out, that type of thing. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. But getting into the pieces that they actually brought here this offseason, I mean, you're looking at a starting center they brought from Denver, which last year their starting center was ranked one of the worst centers in the NFL. So they've upgraded there. They brought in another offensive tackle. They brought an offensive tackle to go along with offensive guard Skronsky they drafted last year. They brought in Sadiq Charles from the Washington Commanders. They brought in Calvin Ridley, trade for L'Jarius Sneed, bringing Chidobe Awuzie as the other corner. I mean, to be honest, just looking at them, I mean, this offseason, it looks like this is probably one of the best off seasons they've had. Minus, of course, some of the feelings with Derrick Henry.
Now, Now, are they healthy though? That's the question. Like you bringing in those guys, but are those guys healthy? And are those guys a good fit? When would you know? Preseason, you figure it out. Well, training camp, obviously, you figure out like the piece.
Right.
But I don't know, man. They up and down with me. Because sometimes I'll watch them and I'll be like, okay, and then I'm like, come on.
Well,
and then you got to think about who's in the conference. The Colts, the Jags, right? Who's in
Texans?
And the Texans.
Yeah.
Those teams are not that. They're not like that.
Texans are this year.
The Texans are. But come on. There's no reason the Titans shouldn't win their division every year, though.
I hear you there. I guess that's why they play the games, but they are kind of, up and down. I will say that over the history of the Titans, they have always beat the teams that no one expects them to beat, and then they'll lose a team that they should easily beat, or people believe they should easily beat. So I totally get that. They've been that way probably since they've gotten here.
And are they living? Are they living with that quarterback decision, or have they not made that yet?
Well, I will say this with the quarterback in terms of Levis there. What I can say with the quarterback decision that they've made, they added all these pieces offensively. They're going to see if he's their guy or not. They're going to know pretty evident this year if he is their guy.
I think I just saw a billboard with him on there. So once you get a billboard, you the face. Yeah. You that guy, man. You that guy.
Well, he's a quarterback, so by default, he's probably going to be the face. But, it'll be interesting to see this year how he goes from year one to year two. Because, I mean, being in the press conferences, it was quite interesting just to kind of watch him and listen to him after games, because you could tell he's a guy that hates losing. He hates it with a passion. And because, he would wear his hats. He wears hats like literally like where you could not see his eyes. You could tell he was mad. But after every press conference, the message was always the same in the press conferences. I've got to figure out a way to get this team over the finish line. I've got to figure out a way and it always wasn't about blaming anybody on the team. It always was, I've got to figure it out. I've got to do what I got to do, whether it's talk to this guy, get this guy in this position, know the offense in and out. And one thing also was very important that I learned about him in terms of watching him, two things. He constantly is working on his craft, because literally he couldn't throw the pass. Well, you got to throw the pass between the linebacker, over the linebacker, but under the safety, he couldn't throw that pass to start the season. But as the season went on, he practiced it so much and kept, doing those different things that he needed to do. He actually was able to hit that pass. And also, one thing Colton Dowell said, the guy that drafted in the 7th round from UT Martin, he actually was his roommate in camp. And he said, man, that guy never turns the TV on. That guy literally goes in there, sits in there, reading his playbook the entire time. And I'm like, okay, that's the type of guy I would like, okay, cool. He's trying to put his all into becoming this guy. Now, whether he becomes that guy or not, we'll see what happens. But he definitely is set up in year two better than he was in year one. Because year one, the most consistent wide receiver you had was DeAndre Hopkins. But after that, you had a lot of inconsistency. This year, you have DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley. You brought in Tyler Boyd from Cincinnati. You brought in a lot of different weapons that actually be like, okay, cool. We will find out if he is the guy. I mean, so it'll definitely be interesting. It's just a different regime, in my opinion, in terms of different feel.
Yeah, it's a new look. It's a whole new look.
Yeah.
But I hope he does well, because Titans fans are like New York fans. They love you when you're doing well, and you're doing bad, they getting you up out of there. Like, hey, they'll run you out. I promise you, you can't go nowhere in this city without them looking at you side eye, man. So hopefully he does well. Hopefully they have a great season, man.
I mean, it's so good for the city when they do, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Nashville's growing, and I'm waiting for these WNBA and NBA teams to get here. It's looking like that's where it's gonna go.
Oh, you and me both, man. I'm waiting on I think we probably get a WNBA team for an NBA team, but I do definitely. I am crossing my fingers that we're the next team announced for a WNBA team.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. I love watching it, man. It's great.
I watch women's basketball more than I watch men's, and I played and I coach basketball, so I'd rather watch the women because they play harder.
Man,
they play hard. All 4 quarters, both halves, because they have points to prove. And it's a disappointment that every NBA team doesn't have a WNBA team, man, because that makes sense. These women are busting their butts and they getting paid less than teachers.
Yeah. So it's wild, man. It's wild. I definitely, I definitely keep up with my team. My team is the Los Angeles Sparks, man. Been there since, been a fan since Lisa Leslie was playing, man.
Yeah.
So now they got Rakia Jackson and Cameron Brink out there,
and they got Z Cook. Z Cook's a baller. He can hoop.
Yes.
I'm a Mercury fan. Phoenix, man. Diana Taurasi and all of them out there in Phoenix. I just love. I've been a fan of her since college and everything like that. So. I just love the WNBA period, man. I love watching them women go out there and do their things. They're amazing. Salute to them. But
definitely, man. I can't get enough of it. And now on Friday nights, I'm definitely on Iron Network too. Yeah, I'm definitely watching the doubleheader on Iron Network. I'm every Friday watching it. For sure. All right. Well, we got into, we talked about everything, but of course, we always end the show with a game. We got 5 questions, 2 answers, and 1 choice. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right. We got Kobe or LeBron. Which one are you taking to build a team?
Oh, man, come on. Kobe.
I came out swinging, man.
Kobe. Black Mamba. All day.
All right.
Kobe.
Okay. Now you have one rapper to pick for a Hot 16. T.I. or Ludacris?
Oh. What am I going for? Am I going for commercial or gangster?
Man, gotta keep it gangster over here.
Oh, T.I. I'm going T.I. all the way.
All right. Okay. Now let's see. 2 black cinema movies. People love these movies. New Jack City or Juice? Which movie are you taking?
I'm going Juice, man. I'm a Tupac fan. That's my favorite rapper.
All right. Okay. Now, these 2 quarterbacks, 2 black quarterbacks, are both in the NFC East. Which quarterback are you taking? Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott?
Jalen Hurts. Dak is not black.
Oh, man.
I'm taking Jalen Hurts. I'm taking Jalen Hurts for sure.
All right. Now, last one I got for you, another movie one, and this is a Spike Lee joint right here. Okay. Do the Right Thing or School Days? Which movie are you taking?
Ooh. As a kid, that ice scene with and Do the Right Thing was always, but School Days is a classic. I don't know which one came out first, School Days or Do the Right Thing. School Days, right?
I believe School Days came out first, but it all runs together with me.
I'm gonna go with Do the Right Thing, man. I don't know. That was my era. That was my energy back then. I like that.
Gotcha. That's 5 questions, 2 answers, and 1 choice. You are off the hot seat. We have reached the end of the show. I want to thank you again for coming on the show, Mr. Ty Garth. Can you please tell everyone where they can find you on social media, and any other information you want to tell everyone.
Man, go follow me on every social site at O.L.L.I.E Lifestyle. Everything is O.L.L.I.E Lifestyle. Instagram, O.L.L.I.E Lifestyle. Facebook, O.L.L.I.E Lifestyle. Just follow me. You can go to the website, OLLIELifeYouthProgram.org, and check out our organization and the things that we do in the community. You can go to WeForTheFathers.com for more information on the second annual For the Fathers event. You can also check me out every Sunday on the Soul Project show on Instagram Live with my partner and my co-founder, Dread. We do that as well. So, yeah, O.L.L.I.E life all day. Only living life in excellence, man. Thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate you for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We finally got it all together to get you on, man.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And I want to thank everyone for listening. Of course, I'm your host, Mike Patton. You can find me on the artist formerly known as Twitter at Mike Patton82. That's MikePatton 82. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at that's THA, not THE, _general_MP. And of course, you can find Touring the AFC South on all listening platforms, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, you name it, we are there, as well as on YouTube. Thank you all again for tuning in to this episode of Touring the AFC South. We're out. Peace.